Breakups hurt, especially when you're the one left behind. While you're drowning in heartbreak, overthinking every little moment, and wondering what went wrong, the person who dumped you seems to move on like it's nothing. Worse, they're already with someone else. It feels unfair, even cruel, but there's a deeper psychology to why the dumper rebounds so easily. Stick with me as I unpack this step by step, because understanding this can be a game changer for your healing and self-growth. 1. They've been emotionally checking out for a while. Most dumpers don't wake up one morning and decide to end things. It's a process that happens over time. By the time they officially end the relationship, they've already emotionally distanced themselves. They've grieved the loss internally, months before you even knew what was coming. This emotional head start makes it easier for them to seek out new connections. Dumpers often feel relieved once they've ended the relationship because they've already processed the emotional weight of the decision. For the one being dumped, however, the breakup is an emotional shock. While you're starting from ground zero, they're already miles ahead emotionally. This discrepancy is one of the reasons it seems like they move on so effortlessly. Understanding this emotional timeline can help you see that their quick rebound isn't necessarily about you or the relationship's worth, but about where they've been emotionally long before the breakup. 2. Rebounds are a coping mechanism. Rebounding isn't always about true love or genuine connection. Often, it's about avoiding the uncomfortable feelings that come with being alone. Dumpers use rebounds to distract themselves from guilt, loneliness, or regret. It's a quick fix, like a bandage over a wound, and gives them temporary validation. A rebound relationship offers an ego boost. Someone new finds them attractive and interesting, which reinforces their decision to leave the past relationship. They're essentially using the rebound as a way to avoid sitting with their emotions and reflecting on what went wrong. For many dumpers, being alone feels like failure or even punishment, so they jump into something new to fill the void. This behavior is more about escapism than true emotional connection. The downside, of course, is that by avoiding their feelings, they're not growing or learning from the breakup. This often leads to repeating the same patterns in future relationships. 3. They crave newness after feeling stuck. When a relationship is in trouble, the dumper often feels trapped or suffocated. Once they're out, they're drawn to anything that feels new and exciting. A rebound offers a fresh start without the baggage of the past. This novelty triggers a rush of dopamine, making the new relationship feel thrilling and intoxicating. This chemical rush can cloud their judgment and make them believe the rebound is more significant than it truly is. It's important to understand that this craving for newness is not necessarily about finding someone better, but about escaping the monotony or struggles they associated with the previous relationship. The dumper's focus is on immediate gratification rather than long-term compatibility or emotional depth. While this can make the rebound relationship seem vibrant and passionate, it often lacks the foundation needed for lasting commitment. Over time, the thrill of newness fades, leaving unresolved issues in its wake. 4. Social pressure to move on quickly. Live in a culture that glorifies moving on fast. Social media doesn't help either. Dumpers often feel pressure to appear strong, confident, and unbothered, even if they're struggling deep down. Jumping into a new relationship or rebound becomes a way to project an image of having their life together. It's less about you and more about saving face in front of their friends, family, or followers. Social validation plays a significant role in why dumpers rebound quickly. Posting pictures with a new partner or being seen out and about helps them craft a narrative that they're thriving post-breakup. However, this external focus means they're prioritizing appearances over genuine emotional healing. The need to prove something to others can drive them to rush into situations that may not truly align with their needs or values. While this might make you feel like they've won, it's important to remember that social performance is not the same as genuine happiness. 5. They mistake freedom for happiness after a breakup. Dumpers often confuse the absence of conflict with happiness. In a rebound, they're temporarily free from arguments, emotional baggage, and responsibility. But freedom doesn't always equal fulfillment. They may enjoy this honeymoon phase for a while, but eventually, they'll realize that the problems they ran from weren't all about you. They were carrying their own unresolved issues, which will likely resurface. The dumper's initial sense of freedom can feel liberating, especially if the relationship had been tense or difficult in its final stages. However, this freedom is often superficial, as it lacks the depth and connection that come from meaningful relationships. Over time, the novelty of being free can wear off, leaving them to confront the same insecurities or emotional challenges they tried to escape. For the person left behind, it's essential to understand that their apparent happiness is often fleeting and not a reflection of your worth. 6. Guilt drives them to overcompensate. Breaking someone's heart isn't easy, and even the most selfish dumper feels a twinge of guilt. Instead of facing that guilt head-on, they dive into something new to convince themselves they made the right choice. This overcompensation helps them rationalize the breakup. They may even flaunt their new relationship to further cement their decision, even if deep down, they're second-guessing it. Guilt can manifest in various ways, from excessive displays of happiness to over-the-top gestures in their rebound relationship. These actions aren't always about genuine joy, but about silencing the nagging doubts or remorse they feel. It's their way of saying, "See, I'm doing great without you," even if the reality is more complicated. For the person left behind, recognizing this behavior for what it is can be empowering. It's not a reflection of your inadequacy, but a coping mechanism for their own internal conflict. 7. They're searching for what they felt was missing. Dumpers often romanticize what they think they were lacking in the previous relationship. If they felt underappreciated, they might seek someone who gives constant validation. If they felt bored, they'll look for excitement. The rebound becomes a way to fill those perceived gaps, but this approach is often superficial. Real connection requires time and depth, not a rush to replace the past. By chasing what they believe was missing, dumpers risk projecting unrealistic expectations onto their new partner. This can lead to disappointment when the rebound relationship doesn't magically solve all their problems. Moreover, their focus on what was lacking in the past prevents them from appreciating the strengths of their previous relationship or understanding their own role in its challenges. For the person left behind, it's crucial to remember that these perceived deficiencies were often subjective and not a true reflection of the relationship's value. 8. Rebounds are often just a phase. Here's the truth. Most rebounds don't last. They're built on shaky foundations and often crumble under the weight of unresolved emotions. While it might sting to see your ex move on so quickly, remember that what's fast to ignite often burns out just as fast. Meanwhile, you're doing the hard work of healing and growing, which sets you up for something much healthier and more fulfilling in the future. Rebound relationships often lack the emotional depth and stability needed for long-term success. They're typically driven by immediate gratification rather than genuine compatibility. Over time, the dumper may come to realize that the rebound isn't meeting their deeper emotional needs. This realization can lead to feelings of regret or even a desire to reconnect with the past. For the person left behind, focusing on your own healing and growth is the best way to move forward. While they're chasing temporary highs, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Conclusion: it's easy to get caught up in the unfairness of it all, but understanding why the dumper rebounds so easily can help you shift your focus back to yourself. Their quick rebound isn't a reflection of your worth or the quality of your relationship. It's a coping mechanism, a distraction, or an escape. Use this time to heal, grow, and rebuild your confidence. Remember, while they're chasing temporary highs, you're building a stronger, happier, and more resilient version of yourself. That's a win you can be proud of.